Y'all is the grown-up versions of the niggas that got hurt in high school while we was out fucking with the drug dealers. Y'all gotta let that shit go.
It's no secret that the dating game in America is very tough. But one issue that I think negatively impacts the Black community in particular that we are unwilling to reckon with is misandry, and particularly how misandry shows up in relationships and the different ways it sends messages to men that they are not valued, and how these messages are actually driving men away, pushing them to go abroad, to gather passports, to date and marry out, or to ultimately just avoid relationships altogether. I want to break down this clip that I saw because I think it has some classic examples of the way misandry can show up in the dating and relationship conversation today. Let's check it out.
This reminds me of a meme. It was a meme of a girl in high school, a girl and a guy in high school.
How you gonna shame me?
Hold on, I'm not shaming you. I'm actually I'm about to
You're
bring you full
perfect.
circle. I got your back. Watch
Perfect.
this. In the meme, they were in high school. When the nerd came up to the girl in high school, she was like, no, I don't want you. And then once she became a baby mama, he was a CEO executive and all that. And she's like, hey, you remember me? He said, no, I don't want you. I be feeling like, respectfully, you didn't get no pussy in high school. You getting pussy now. Get over it.
Absolutely.
Notice something about this clip. First of all, she doesn't deny the claims. She doesn't deny the fact that there were women out there who overlooked good, quality men for the thugs, drug dealers, for the quote-unquote Pookie and Ray Ray. She doesn't deny that. What she does do, however, is minimize, undermine, undercut, and completely disrespect the emotional experience of those guys who were rejected by the women that they liked. Now, I want you to imagine if this kind of behavior would be respectable and acceptable if the roles were reversed. If men look to women, they say, hey, a man rejected you because you were fat, get over it. Hey, men in high school rejected you because you were dark skinned, get over it. Hey, you didn't get asked out on the date because your teeth were bad, get over it. Hey, men didn't ask you out because you were the only Black one in school, get over it. I want you to imagine a scenario in which a man would look at a woman, undermine her emotional experience, undermine the trauma, the experiences that she had growing up, and that wouldn't be considered misogyny. That wouldn't happen. It would be considered misogynistic and the woman would likely take offense. But somehow, when the roles are reversed, men are just supposed to just get over their own traumatizing experiences and basically get on code and do exactly what they're supposed to do, which is wipe up all these women who rejected them when they were young. And it just doesn't work like that. And this is how misandry works. It does not create space for the multidimensional aspects of men. We are allowed as women to have emotional experiences. We are allowed to make mistakes and grow and learn and evolve and look at our past and go on healing journeys. Women are all about that. But somehow men are supposed to just look at all the traumatizing experiences in their past, just get over it, and make sure they create a safe space for women to do exactly what they want to do. And that is misandry, because it is not acknowledging the humanity of men. And let's also recognize in this response up to this point is an unwillingness to acknowledge that there were some young girls there who were not making good choices. But instead of those young girls, being reprimanded on some level for not making good choices, somehow it's about shaming men. And it's not about holding a woman accountable, or in that case, those young girls accountable for the decisions that they made. That's kind of insane to me, but let's continue.
Because how many times do you hear men bring up, but what about the girls who had the older guys picking them up in high school? It was right. It wasn't right then. It is not right now. And she wasn't the one who was responsible for making it right. He was the older guy.
They can make more.
Clearly, there was no respect for the emotional experiences or the humanity of those men. The ladies ultimately are just mad that those men are not turning around and giving the woman that rejected them the resources that they worked hard for. And now I understand what she's saying about young girls being taken advantage of older men. I understand there's cases of that. But that's the responsibility of the parents of that girl, right? Or of the guardians of that girl to protect her and make sure she is not taken advantage of from older men who can prey on her emotionally. That is not the responsibility of other men. That doesn't mean that these other men have to spend their life paying for the mistakes of that woman when she was young. That's not how that works.
We can talk all day about certain projections.
You guys can't sit here and say
guys that they want to try to shame for making good decisions.
No one's shaming you.
You're not shaming good decisions.
You're not shaming me.
I'm not shaming good decisions.
No one's shaming them for their decision making.
feel shame. I
It's
feel
actually
great.
quite the opposite. You're shaming
Why do
people
y'all
for
keep
making
talking
bad
over me?
decisions
Why do they keep
in the
talking over me?
past.
It's not shaming for a man to have a preference. If a man has seen in his past that a woman did not want him when he didn't have any money or when he was still getting his stuff together, then it's not a shaming tactic if that man decides to reject that same woman once he gets to a point of success. That's not shaming. That's not manipulating or mistreating. That is a man making a smart choice. So I think there needs to be a distinction between a man who was just honestly making a wise decision versus people online who were just saying dumb things. Because I understand there are people online who sometimes may just say a whole bunch of different bad or disparaging things about single mothers. I understand that does exist. But just because a man doesn't want to marry or date a single mother doesn't mean he's shaming you. He's just making a decision that's best for him, and that's okay.
Why do they keep talking over me? Remember this. And this goes for the women too, but I'm speaking to my guys. Anytime that you find yourself in a situation where you dodged somebody that you thought was for you but really wasn't, that's God protecting you.
Absolutely.
That go for women too.
Whenever you raise your standards, fellas, remember, it's not that you gotta have a lot of options, you just gotta find the best one for you.
So obviously this is a quick clip, but it does reveal some challenges that I do believe exist in the Black American community specifically. We are very comfortable with the idea of misogyny. I don't think anybody disputes that exists, but no one really likes to talk about misandry. And we saw some clear-cut examples of how that can show up in these relationship topics, i.e., again, not really acknowledging or creating space for the human experience of men, but then at the same time being mad when men don't open up emotionally. And there's a reason for that. If men get shamed, if men are told to just suck it up or get over it whenever they open up or share some of the traumatizing experiences they've had in the past, they may get to the point where they don't open up at all. And then if there is an unwillingness even for ladies to acknowledge some of the mistakes that they made in the past and how that actually might impede their current relationship status today, again, that doesn't create a lot of room for growth. And so again, this is why I think these podcasts, while they can do a lot to show what's actually going on in the current dating market, they don't really move the conversation forward into how to actually get to a place of healing and comfort. I shared that little community post earlier today about that couple that says they've been together for 76 years. Full disclosure, I can't completely verify the exact amount of time they've been married, but we do know based upon the pictures, it looks like they've been together for quite some time. And ultimately, it really should be those kinds of people that we're listening to when it comes to the relationship and marriage discourse. I listen to my pastors who have been married for over 40 years. I have other people in my life who've been married for over 2 decades. And ultimately, those are the people who really should be leading the relationship dialogue. Not folks who have broken families, can't figure out how to get along with one another, made mistakes when they're teenage years that they're still trying to get over with, but haven't been able to come up with any form of success. That's just for entertainment, but it's not really for anything substantial. But anyways, y'all, what do you think? Let me know down in the comment section. Check me out on Patreon. For all paid members can have access to my Discord, and we'll talk later. Okay, guys, bye.